up here? Oh, good morning. What are you up to? What have you been doing? Are you looking for a cabana? Oh gosh. What are you doing? Yeah. Well, so far, this south garage wall is kicking our butts. Today, I know we said that yesterday, we're gonna get this done. I think it was a good decision last night to cut it early being 10:30. Can you believe that? We worked until 10:30 last night. So where we left off, we're picking up this beam, this header, and we've got to get that finished up and then get it raised up. And then we've got a few other things that we need to add to the top of this wall to prepare it for the wall above it, as well as strengthen it. Oh, looks like the belt clip fell off of our Milwaukee Impact yesterday. I guess we'll be hunting for a screw all day today. In case you're just joining us, we're still working on getting the south wall garage done. And what we're trying to do is get prepared to install the south living level. With the SIPs, we have to work from the bottom of the structure to the top. And that means getting the garage situated first. Yesterday, we were able to get this header built and installed. And then last night late, we got this panel, the man door, framed up, and this other panel that frames in this garage door. We've got this panel ready to go, and this header is pretty much ready. We need to do a few other small jobs to get it screwed and glued, and then it's time to lift it up in place. Before we can build the south wall, however, it's a little deceptive because of how the drawings are made, but there's actually a shoe that runs along the bottom of this south wall that these panels drop onto. I have a concern about this south lower wall and the upper wall being somewhat independent and a hinging motion happening right here. If you look really close, the top of that header does not actually connect to our rim board. Therefore, this garage wall is actually not tethered strongly to the platform and therefore the foundation. We do have some really strong connections. For example, this post connects this panel. And of course, these panels are all connected via lumber. And this header and that panel are all connected to the sill plate. But I would really have rathered, if we would have designed this better, that this header break over that eye joist and the upper panel come down and also break over that eye joist. As it stands, this lower wall really doesn't have anything strongly keeping it attached to the house at the top. It relies on the shoe at the bottom of this wall and these subsequent timber screws that we'll be putting all along the bottom of this wall that attach it to the platform. It relies on that to keep the top of these panels secure. To further strengthen that connection, if you think about it, these sill plates actually extend beyond this wall out here. Here's the foundation over here. So if we just put a shoe on the top of this wall and connect it to this wall, again, there's nothing really keeping it other than those screws. So we talked to Shelter, and they agreed it would be a good idea to run a second shoe. So there will be two shoes that run from end to end. One on top of this wall, just the length of the wall, which will bring us up to the height of the shoe on the outside foundation. And then we're going to put another shoe that is continuous from one end of the foundation all the way across the top of this wall, and will come all the way to the other side of the foundation. Yeah, that's super technical. Do you agree it was a good idea to quit last night?
I do, yeah.
Both of us sat down and we both lamented how our feet hurt.
We didn't realize what
tired.
time it was. When we were eating dinner, it was 9:45.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel rested and I feel ready to mob.
Good. We've been at this pace for a long time, and I think, again, to restate this for the 10,000th time, something we're learning this year. But while you're ahead, this house is not going to get built in one day. Yeah, and I think what's hard for us on this house is that we're building basically a custom home. And every phase and every material is new to us. Of course, very few contractors can build a house end to end. So we are doing that. We're crossing over. The concrete that you're standing on, we poured that. Those ICFs behind Alyssa, we did that. Those eye joists, yep, we did that too. So this phase has been a lot of learning. It's been going fairly smooth. I feel like we've been able to tackle every problem thrown our way. We've worked through all the issues. So we're feeling good, but it definitely is time consuming and tedious to deal with these problems. Could we have built an easier house? Probably. In fact, maybe we should have. But we're kind of living up to this challenge, and I have to say that it's pushing Alyssa and I to be smarter and stronger and have more patience than we probably had when we started this project. Maybe we both needed that. Maybe this house is karma. How's that? Looking really good. Go ahead, put maybe a couple more screws in. Nice work. I'll put some fresh water in here for you.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah. And if I didn't know better, guys, it's starting to look like a garage. I'm really impressed. I'm glad everything fit the way it should. Went in nice and easy. Good job, Alyssa, being safe. Thank you, backhoe, for your service. That is so easy with the backhoe. I feel like the sill plate practice did us well. And those two headers could have been way harder.
So, what's the rest of the day look like? At some point, I'm very confident we're gonna run out of mastic. You see, we were using about 1.5 tubes of mastic per wall. So I bought like 3 more tubes, knowing we'd probably run out, but we already ran out. And I remembered that, the south lower wall and upper wall have so much lumber, so that's where all of our mastic went. So I know we don't have enough to finish this job. We have to go to town at some point anyway today, so we're gonna have to do that probably within the next couple of hours here. We'll see how far we can get. We did forget to put screws in the top of our OSB on our header, on the exterior and the interior, so I'm gonna work on that and Jesse's gonna work on lumber.
Guys, it's getting hot. Woo. Man.
Oh, head rush.
Yeah, take it easy. We're in
It's hot.
We're in the heat of the day. You know what's funny is somebody's burning. And I can't think of what knucklehead would burn on days when there's no freaking wind. Who does that? Who burns when the air is completely stagnant for 5 straight days? Makes me want to go get in an airplane and fly around and find that.
Burned has nothing to do with the wind.
burn like wood.
Oh,
burning wood. Look at all the smoke.
Oh.
Some dingbat's burning a fire. Why don't you wait till it blows a little bit of wind, eh? Somehow, we're out producing our solar, which makes no sense. What the heck? We've got 50 amps coming in, 50 amps going out. Better go check on things. So the hot knife's not on. The only thing on out here is these lights, and they're 0.2 of an amp each. So there's 1.2 amps, 2.4 amps. Well, panels all look like they're doing fine. There's nothing covering them up. They might be a little bit dirty. Like this one's got some sand on it, but that's not gonna hurt our power. It does look like they could use a bath. The wires feel cool, so everything's fine there. Uh-oh. Batteries are a little thirsty, but that doesn't really explain why we're not getting the solar output we should be. With it being 85 degrees outside, I'm pretty confident that our freezer is probably running a lot more right now too. It's kind of the back end of solar that in the winter, of course, your freezer doesn't run much because it's really, really cold. And in the summer, it's on all the time, but you have lots of sun. So I think that's kind of taxing the system a little bit. We're actually right at production where we are with consumption, so we're net zero at the moment. I'm going to turn the Go power system on because that's going to give us another probably 17 amps, 20 amps of current maybe. Let's see what happens here. Well, we'll get 15 out of those panels. Those panels are probably pretty hot right now. That brought our voltage back up. So now we're producing probably somewhere around 65 amps of current between the two systems, and we're consuming about 42, and the voltage is already coming up. Well, after a few minute break and detour with playing with solar, we've kind of run out of time to keep going on this project right now. We've got to run to town, we've got some errands we've got to do. It's Friday, it's 3:30 or whatever. We got to get to these businesses before they close. So we're going to pick this up when we get back. Something we learned last year, kind of powering through the home build on the summer, was to take your breaks and do your town runs in the heat of the day. So try to work really hard in the morning until maybe like 1 o'clock or so. Any errands or anything inside that you need to get done, do that between like 1 and 5, and then try to hammer out 2 to 3 hours of work in the evening. Seems like that worked a lot better for us versus powering through the heat. Do we get things to make rum raisin ice cream?
Yeah, we only need ice.
Hoo-yah!
I want to make us a smoothie to go. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Smoothie for the road? Sold.
We're gonna...
Excellent decision to go to town. Fridays are always chaos. Everybody's going somewhere, doing something, even in rural, middle of nowhere America. For those who are curious, our water system has been working fantastic. In fact, we hauled our first water last week, and that's the first water we've carried since sometime around New Year's. I can't remember exactly when, but we had a really good cold snap. So we're stockpiling water again. And the bad news is they increased the price of the water. This tank of water cost us $1.50. Yes, that has made pretty much mutiny at the watering hole. This tank of water used to cost us 50 cents. And we were like, this is great. And then we showed up after not hauling water for 4 months, and they changed the system around. I think somebody complained that it was 50 cents, and they said, oh, how about this, when they increased the price. But we also found out that a lot of the people who haul water every single day, which there are a lot of in our area, people who are truly off-grid, who have no option for a well or community water or anything like that, they were affected by the load limits. They put spring breakup limits on the roads around here because they're so soft that they get tore up by pretty much anything. Even a car, honestly, tears the roads up. They put a sign at the watering hole that said, hey, contact Road and Bridge for a permit, to which most of the people who said, this is my water, take a hike. We don't have a way right now, other than to go visually inspect the tanks to determine how much water we have on hand. So we've been going to town, the roads are good, weight limits are off the road, so we've been hauling water, but we need to go do a visual check. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow or maybe in the weekend and see where we're at. Alyssa even admitted that she's been taking longer showers. I think she feels less guilt about water now. I knew it was coming. When we got more water, I knew we would be wasting some. What is wasting? So after a really long, hot, sticky day working on the house, I think she deserves at least a 5-minute hot shower. Come on. So we've been using more water, but we haven't run out yet. That's incredible. And we feel like we've been wasting water for whatever that's worth. The thing is, an RV is really not designed for wasting water. Like, it's pretty hard to do. Especially since we actually take our dishwater and we toss it outside because we don't want a lot of that grease and stuff to get into the plumbing on the RV. That would just be nightmare to clean. Anyway, update on the water system, it's working fantastic. We're hoping to get the system topped off before summer here, probably in the next couple of weeks. And then we'll have to just kind of see how it lasts through the summer. If we do any gardening, but with canning and stuff like that, we're gonna be using a lot more water. Let's see what happens. This will be kind of fun.
I can't resist. Jesse doesn't want to try it. I do. Oh my god, that is so good. That is heaven on earth. You should try it.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Oh, we're gonna spin now. Okay, I think we're ready to power through the evening now.
Bazango. Did it go right in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably push it down this way.
Yep. We do not live in Alaska, but the mosquitoes are absolutely obliterating us tonight. So if the camera's like this, mosquitoes.
So we ran into our next challenge where you see this OSB is about a 1/4 inch lower than the top plate, which isn't a problem per se, but when we took this measurement here, it's 1.25 inches, not 1.5 inches, for our 2x shoe that we're gonna put on, which is a problem. So then we realized that we didn't actually check the garage header for level when we dropped it in. Duh, right? We assumed that because we dropped it in, it was level. So we just checked it and sure enough, it's not. Jesse took a bunch of measurements and tracked it all the way back down to the sill plate. One sill plate is a full 1/4 inch shorter than the other sill plate. This goes back to dimensional material not being 2-dimension. It bites us in the butt time and time again. So what Jesse's gonna do is do a plunge cut into our jack stud, and that should drop our header down by 1/4 inch. Of course, we could plane the top plate to make it level, but then our garage header is crooked, so here we go.
I think it's fine. Well, should be able to make a plunge cut. I needed about 1.5 inches to get the fence in there, the table for the saw. Okay, ready?
Okie doke.
All right, coming down. Looks like you're gonna have to help it down. Give it a stomp.
Okie doke. Ah! We're in.
You still got room to come down a little bit.
Really?
Yeah.
Good, because it's like, looks like where we were before.
Okay, hold on.
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Wow. So hard.
Well, we won for tonight, for now. So we're getting this screwed from the inside, and then I think we're probably gonna call it a night. We still have to do a significant amount of cleanup, finish the ice cream, and it's already after 9 p.m. Oh, have we had dinner yet? No, of course not. Jesse wants you guys to go for a ride on the ice cream scoop. Ready? Wow. Hooey! There you have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I think these 8 will be for us, and maybe we'll give 1 to a neighbor.
That's it. All the screws are in. I better go get some of that ice cream before Alyssa eats it all.